Good evening and welcome to Capital News at 9:30. My name is Frank Morandi. First, the national news. Iran has given Tanzania more than 100 power tillers to support the government in its Green Revolution strategy under the concept of First Agriculture. Here are the details.
The donation was announced by the Iranian ambassador Mohsen Movahedi Gumi during an audience with President Jakar Kikwete, who thanked Tehran for its assistance. A State House statement said that power tillers worth $600,000 were bought as part of Iranian assistance to Tanzania. Tanzania and Iran signed an agreement last year under which Tehran pledged to give Tanzania assistance worth $1.2 million, and after purchase of power tillers, the remaining will be used for construction of a modern clinic in Dar es Salaam.
Who died of leukemia in London 12 years ago.
Security has been tightened in Mara region on the eve of Nyerere Day, which at national level will be marked in the region with the lighting of a Uhuru torch by Vice President Dr. Mohamed Garib Bilal. Here's more on the story.
Mara Regional Commissioner John Tupa, who is also chairman of the Regional Defense and Security Committee, spoke on moves which have been taken to tighten security in various places of the region to control acts of breach of peace. Mr. Tupa was addressing a news conference after visiting the ground, which will be used for activities to light the Uhuru torch and other areas which will be used for provision of various services during the celebrations. Tanzania tomorrow marks anniversary of the death of its founding father and first president Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who died of leukemia in London 12 years ago. The Vice President, Dr. Bilal, has already arrived in Musoma for the who died of leukemia in London 12 years ago.
Chairman of the Parliamentary Committee on Parastatal Accounts, Zitto Kabwe, has called on the Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, Mustafa Mukulo, to resign to pave way for investigation on the Consolidated Holding Corporation, CHC, and misuse of his office. Here are the details.
At a news conference in Dar es Salaam, Zitto Kabwe, who is also North Kigoma Member of Parliament and Shadow Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, said the minister's decision to dissolve CHC Board of Directors aimed to hide the truth on auditing of the firm carried out by Controller and Auditor General. Mr. Zitto Kabwe also alleged other malpractices committed by the minister, including directing CHC to sell its plot to a person contrary to regulations and procedures. In other development, the outspoken Member of Parliament asked President Jakar Kikwete if he was doing justice to the country and its economy by having a minister who was misusing his office for personal interests. Who died of leukemia in London.
Privately owned Precision Air has issued its initial public offering of 58,841,750 shares at the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange as the company seeks to go public. Here are the details.
Selling its shares at 475 shillings per share, the domestic carrier hopes to increase the company's value by 73 billion shillings from the sale of its shares as it endeavors to transfer its ownership to the Tanzanian public. In a keynote address to local potential investors today in Dar es Salaam, the company's chairman Michael Shirima urged the public to seize the opportunity to own the airline.
Of course, the partners had to agree to go to the best option. We had an option from overseas investors. They were ready to pump in $10 million as preference shares. That means but I personally thought we got to have this company owned by Tanzanians and in the wider sense in the region, the East African region, let the ownership remain here because then you can patronize it better. Whenever you buy a ticket, you know that you are buying a ticket from a company that you own and that you'll have affiliations to it and make you feel proud.
Precision Air's finance director Charles Ogola told the gathering that over the years, the airline has recorded an average growth of 28% and now seeks to expand its aircraft fleet as well as domestic and international routes.
Total value of assets, which have grown tenfold since 2004, from 21 billion to 240 billion. You'll notice a sharp increase around 2008 And that is when we embarked on our fleet modernization program, resulting in acquisition of 7 brand new aircraft. Now that, you will see from that point, because the deliveries of this aircraft were phased all through from 2008 all the way to 2011. And year on year, you can see the growth in total assets.